Quando sono solo sogno l'orizzonte, mancan le parole. Sì, lo so che non c'è luce in una stanza quando manca il sole. Se non ci sei tu con me, su le finestre. Mostra a tutti il mio cuore che hai acceso. Chiudi dentro me la luce che ha incontrato per strada. Take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. I'm Stu for the Human, and I felt the need to come in that dramatically because, well, why not? Okay, sorry about that. My browser was acting goofy up in here. But anyway, hopefully, people will bother me if I get stuff in. And oh, I guess that guy is doing a thing. But can I stop left clicking? Holy shit, I've been wanting to right click this whole time. Alright, finally. Stupid mouse pad. Yeah, I guess so. You're just gonna, like, come by and then leave, so, it's not really much of a thing. But anyway, I gotta think of something to, oh. I know. I never sat down and actually straight up listened to or played one of these, but I guess now's a good time to. Also, I'm going to start at 5 minutes late, cause I originally wanted to start at 30 after, but I guess I gotta wait till 35 after. So there's that. Sorry, calling for an invitation, blowing the horn to summon people. And hopefully it works this time. Anyway, what was I wanting to, write about today? Oh, right. A video by... Shit, I'll just call him... of manliness. Like manliness needs defending. Anyway, what we're going to be listening to while writing is a pretty obscure thing called the Bruno Mattei Show, which was a sideshow made by the Cinema Snob. Appropriate. that is completely about the oeuvre of Bruno Mattei. And the format is just him and his three friends, three best friends, just go to a bar and just sit around and talk about a Bruno Mattei movie they just watched. This is their most recent episode, and I think their last ever, because, well, I think they done completed the oeuvre of Bruno Mattei, and it's called Rats, Night of Terror, and it's going to be what we're listening to while we write for inspiration. Anyway, and also, literally no one is watching. Oh, what fun. Oh, it's go time. Alright, hopefully I can get into focus, because I haven't been really able to focus today.
Okay, 'cause all I'm saying is, dude, you have to go see Drive. You have to see it.
All right, we're here with we're here with the Bruno Mattei show. After 6 months, you might actually notice we're at
we're at a different booth.
we're at a different booth than we usually are. Actually, our other booth is just around.
Observe.
It's so lonely over there.
It's so lonely over there. Oh yeah, this shot. Yeah, you can see the duct tape.
Unfortunately, they installed a speaker directly over the booth, so it's about the loudest place in the bar.
Yeah, they installed the installed a speaker right above there, all the way into the back of the bar, which now makes that area over there, which used to be the quietest part of the bar because there's a door kind of blocking it, blocking the sound. It's now the loudest part of the bar. I mean, it could have worked out if you really hate what we're saying and you just want to listen to some sweet jazz tunes. So we watched Rats.
Oh, Rats.
How many times did we have to watch Rats for this episode?
I think at last count it was 3. Because the first 2, the
That's
copy
counting
we
like the
had,
5 times I've seen it before.
Oh, yeah.
the first 2, the copy we had cut out right as they were like taking over that tank and having like the Mexican standoff.
Yeah.
But and then the third time, Brian actually bought a DVD of it at one of the cons that we went to, and we actually got to see the gripping conclusion.
We also watched it probably a year ago. Just I think for shits and giggles we watched it.
I know I watched it with you at least once or twice.
Yeah.
Hey, Koi.
Before the times we were watching
Don't
it
you
for this
you
episode.
me.
We used to watch these movies just leisurely.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
not
Rats
the
is-
Mondo ones.
Rats is one of my favorites too.
Rats,
So,
you're in good company because that's Bruno's favorite out of all of them.
I love that
some
interview
reason.
that, cause, like, before we get to there was an interview on the DVD that we
Yeah.
had that basically Bruno was talking about how he doesn't really understand how anyone likes his movies because he loves them as if they were children, but if he could, he'd shoot them. He'd
Yeah,
shoot
but he
all of
hates
them.
his children. Like, I gotta
He
love
would
my
shoot.
child,
He would
but
shoot his children.
if it was anybody,
I love him. I don't like him.
if my child was anybody else, I'd hate him.
Whoever Unis me 3 times, you know, has a crush on me.
Yeah, he talks about how Tarantino really liked Hell of the Living Dead, and then went back and was like, really? Someone liked Hell of the Living Dead? And so he went back and watched it and was like, yeah, I guess I could see how someone would like this. I still don't care much for it, but I mean, me personally, I love the movie. I think Bruno would be very shocked and flattered
Go
by
stalk
this show.
me.
Very true. Very
But-
true.
So he's said that Rats is
He is stalking me.
favorite of his movies, and you can kind of see it because the movie it's got everything in it that you expect out of one of his movies. It's got gore, it's got that Claudio Fragasso script,
Yeah.
the over-the-top dialogue, over-the-top characters, you know, a little bit of rip-off exploitation thrown in there.
What's all this screaming about?
Well, yeah, he basically outlined in the interview that this is, you know, an homage, if you will, to Return of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living
Night
Dead.
of the Living Dead. excuse
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, except
So, you know,
minus the zombies and now they're all rats.
yeah, it's rats equal zombies.
You can tell by looking at it because the movie is a group of people held up in an isolated area, boarding it up from whatever's on the outside. Of course, in this case, they're kind of boarding themselves in with the rats. 'Cause I think there's more rats inside that place than there are outside of it.
Yeah, it'd be like if in Night of the Living Dead they got to the farmhouse.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I saw a zombie inside. Shut the door, nailed it closed, and they're just stuck on the porch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand guard. I think it's safer. You can do as you like.
Although, you know, we mentioned when we were watching it, this is less people versus rats and more people versus the guy with the bucket full of rats.
Yeah.
Because unless the rats are actually flying at the characters, they're pretty much just chill. You know, there's just like piles of rats and just like
They're just
doing
hanging
their
out.
whiskers and looking adorably at the camera. These are like the least terrifying rats in the history of rats.
Bruno said they're guinea pigs.
Oh, my bad.
He said
These
they are
terrifying
so not
guinea
guinea
pigs
pigs.
painted like
Yeah, he
rats
said
and with
they're
little
guinea
rat
pigs
tails
they
attached
painted.
to them.
These are so not guinea pigs. I can only chalk it up to, like, I mean, it's been since 1984 that he made it, and he's kind of old in the interview. Maybe he just remembers it that way. Because
Yeah,
why would you
guinea pig.
lie? Why would you say, what? No, they were guinea pigs. I mean, why would you lie about it?
Especially-
But
Maybe that's, like,
it's
different.
clearly rats in the thing.
And then that little like interview thing, he's like mentioning like, it's like, oh yeah, no, they're guinea pigs. We painted up, and then it cuts to a scene of footage, and it's obviously not a guiney pig.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
maybe
it's almost
that's-
like they edited that in. They're like, well, he's wrong, but let him have his dreams.
Invite me to the party? Have a drink with me?
There are like different laws that apply to animal cruelty against guinea pigs because they kind of run roughshod over these rats. They're like setting them on fire and like kicking them and dropping them into pools of water. I kind of felt more bad for the rats. Than I did for
These
them.
rats are. This is a horror movie about the rats. Really, this is a movie about a group of rats who are on the run from a crazy film crew.
Yeah, because I mean, you have to think though, like, when have any of these? I mean, you know, Bruno included, but when have any of these Italian filmmakers really had any problem with animal cruelty? Like, what was it? The true story of the Nun of Monza, where
Yeah.
they actually like, you know, like cutting off chicken heads and stuff.
There
like
was
that.
cockfighting in Strike Commando.
So I mean, they really don't
We haven't done
seem
that one yet.
seem like don't talk about that one. But no, I mean, they really don't seem to have any problem with animal cruelty.
Christ, you dirty beast.
That's why our water gets polluted.
You look at the cannibal movie.
Oh, yeah.
This is the first time I think we're seeing it en masse, though, because this is just hordes and hordes of rats getting like stomped into
in a Bruno
oblivion.
movie.
Yeah.
In a Bruno movie, maybe, but the cannibal movies have way more animal cruelty than this movie does.
Well, even some of the Mondo movies had some of that tribal footage edited in.
Some of the
like,
Mondo movies I can
killing a
chalk up
pig
to
and
like
stuff.
just being stock footage of something. That's what those movies are. But in terms of a Bruno movie, in this one, yeah, there's parts where in the background you see a rat kind of scuttle away from a burning corpse, and the guy throws a shot glass down the bar, and it
Just like
Absolutely.
pegs a
it
rat
knocks
with
the
it.
rat off of it. But the movie, it doesn't go as it's not as extreme as like Cannibal Holocaust. They're tearing apart a turtle and eating its inside,
Yeah, 'cause-
shooting a pig, and
Yeah,
stuff like
because even that one scene where one of the guys, Duke, was that his name? The kind of Pancho Villa looking guy.
I remember
shooting
Video
a-
Chocolate. Was the
Video
TV show.
Chocolate Kurt,
Kurt, yes.
But
Diana.
yeah,
Lilith,
Oh, Vampirella.
yeah.
but yeah, after the guy gets like a rat jumps up and bites him right in the face, throws it on the ground, pulls out a shotgun, and there's clearly a quick edit right as the flash goes off. So I mean, it's not like he actually just like threw down a rat and shot it.
Yeah, that didn't happen. Even the rat who with the, I mean, I'm not saying this is a good thing to do, but even the rat who got knocked off by the shot glass didn't die. He just knocked it off of the thing. I mean,
Just hitting it with
no
a
animal
rocks glass
cruelty.
like that.
No, whether it's a
30
little
mile
bit
an
of
hour.
animal cruelty or a lot of animal cruelty, none of it's fucking good.
Yeah.
Ouch! That hurt. Watch out! Ah! Get it off! Won't let go!
Better, I get no.
Maybe it just hit me
Less,
because
less worse.
Again,
It's
these
less
rats
worse,
were,
yeah.
were sweet little dudes. Like there's
I
this
love
one
rats.
scene where like there's like a wire hanging down with just like a wheel on it because you'd have that in a bar. There's just like a rat just chilling on it, just like cleaning his whiskers, and it's like the terror, the terror.
I love rats. I think rats are adorable. I think they are.
They
I think
really
they're
are.
really cool
And
little
these ones in
creatures.
particular.
I know, right? With the
Like,
red eyes and
smeared
everything.
them
Like
up
in
with,
this
like,
movie,
shoe polish.
I can see. I look
Just
at
made
this.
them look bedraggled.
I look at this movie just like a fun B action movie, but I can certainly see. I mean, I've dated people in the past who would watch this movie and probably be terrified. If you're afraid of rats, I can see being a little about the movie. Kind of like how I can imagine somebody being scared by it if you're afraid of clowns.
Kurt, the window! We forgot to barricade that window!
But this movie does something that's pretty, I mean, genius in that, like, when you look at it, it really is just a killer creature movie. Like, frogs, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, Squirm.
Squirm.
Slugs.
Slugs. There was that one. It really is, at its core, it's a killer creature movie. But it's a post-apocalyptic movie.
In the Christian year 2015, the insensitivity of man finally triumphs, and hundreds of atomic bombs devastate all 5 continents. Terrified by the slaughter and destruction, the few survivors of the disaster seek refuge under the ground. From that moment begins the era that will come to be called after the bomb, the period of the second human race.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever, this movie is a post-apocalyptic movie.
Oh, and it's set up in the best way possible.
Oh, yeah, that's set up at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's a whole
Yeah, 'cause-
trilogy of action movies it's talking about.
Maybe it just describes like centuries of human history.
There's
Yeah.
and the
In a
funny
crawl.
thing that ties in with that, I guess. But yeah, there's a huge text crawl that really like sets up this whole thing. I know you know more of the setup with that one off the top of your head, so I'll let you cover that in a second. But
In the Christian year
2015.
2015.
So we're coming up on it.
yeah, 3 years now.
We're going to get hoverboards and the
Oh,
nuclear holocaust.
yeah, when was this video made?
But
Video
yeah,
was
you can tell,
uploaded
you know, that
July
text
30th.
crawl, and it's like a 5-minute text crawl. It's
Yeah.
probably an exaggeration, but
I
not
think it
too
was
much
made
more.
around
A century
2013.
later, several men dissatisfied with the
Yeah,
system imposed
but oh
on
well.
them by the new
Back to this
humanity
novel.
choose to revolt and return to live on the surface of the Earth as their ancestors did. So yet another race begins, that of the new primitives.
Yeah, you mentioned how it seems like, like, oh yeah, that covers a trilogy of films. Well, I guess in some parts of Europe, Rats is considered to be the third part of the Bronx Warriors trilogy.
In Germany, yeah.
Where it's called, like, the Rats of Manhattan. Because, that place they were, that totally looked like Manhattan.
Come out in the open. What are you waiting for? Come out! Out in the open so I can smash you to pieces! Come to the slaughter! I'm gonna kill you all! Dash your brains out! Come out! Come on out!
So Manhattan, you guys.
It looked like a leftover set from 2019.
Like a leftover set from like a spaghetti western. They were
Yeah.
like a Wild West bar.
Yeah.
It was definitely like a saloon with a
Yeah.
hydroponics plant in the basement.
We know we've probably seen that very same set pop up somewhere. That whole thing couldn't have been built just for Rats Night of Terror.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was like the same bar from like Django.
Yeah, or shit, that's probably the bar where Season Hubley got killed and escaped from New York.
Here's where my four-legged friend came from. Look, there's a whole nest of the sweet little things. Always keep a freezer full. What do you say, Kurt? How's your appetite today, huh?
The dialogue in this movie is just amazing. Whether it's Chocolate getting the flour on her. Look at me, I'm white. I'm as white as all of you. Video saying, oh, this computer needs a good kick in the balls.
And then he kicks it.
Yeah, and then
right
he kicks
in
it.
its
It
balls.
works.
Hey! This is flour! That's great! Flour! It's fabulous! Here, there's some flour in your hair.
I like how, too, that, so this movie is taking place a couple hundred years after the nuclear holocaust. But these characters in this movie seem to have a pretty big grasp on what society was like before then.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's talking about
That guy with,
sugar, flour, or video games.
that guy with the phone too, because he's like
Yeah.
he's outside stumbling around drunk. He's like, oh, sweet, a telephone. He's like, he
Yeah.
actually knows how to interact with it, and he's like trying to get a dial tone out of it. He wouldn't know what a fucking phone was.
We all know you're a genius.
Good luck. Go on. I am able to win any game in the world. And I bet I could make this work.
He's lived underground.
Oh, I mean, we were talking about that when we were watching the movie, and we were trying to fill in the holes a little bit. Like, I don't know, maybe like, they had like classes underground that talked about the before time. Or shit, maybe they had phones.
But with a lot of the stuff, like how up on the surface, the new primitives,
Yeah.
whatever the hell they were called,
Yeah.
alpha primitives.
I think it was New
That's
Primitives.
a common thing. They have your standard set of post-apocalyptic vehicles, motorcycles, big trucks, dune buggy looking.
What
things,
should
and
I?
all of that in perfect working order, despite the fact that these things would be relics. It'd be like if you broke into a museum and stole like a horse-drawn carriage from the Victorian.
There's that, but I mean, look at if a post-apocalyptic movie doesn't have a motorcycle in it, then it's an art film. The post-apocalyptic movies have two things: leather and motorcycles. That's just what they have.
Although I did enjoy the fact that in this movie, I mean, usually like in post-apocalyptic movies, they've got like a real set uniform that they wear, like the
Yeah.
leather and like the used sports equipment. They really kind of mix it up in this movie because there's the main guy with his like dashing cravat.
Yeah.
It was Vampirella who was wearing like
Yeah.
like this weird leather leotard and like this huge Dracula cape. It definitely seemed like they each found their own style.
Kurt, who is McGreedy.
Yeah, he was just McGreedy from The Thing.
Yeah.
All he was missing was the big stupid hat.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like this at all. Computers and corpses were a bad mixture.
In the cell, we found strange and wonderful things.
And it's interesting trying to figure out how exactly the rats are killing people in this. Like, because the dude, a couple of guys at the end essentially just get killed by a door falling on them, or the rats kind of being dumped on them a little bit, and they got some bites on them, and we're like, are the rats like poisonous or something? But then earlier in the movie, like a guy gets bit on like the chin, and he survives most of the movie. The one girl was like covered in bites, and she survived quite a while.
She went crazy as shit.
I think that was just one of the things that happens when you take a zombie movie and make it a rat movie. Because like there's one scene where the guy has like a couple rats on him and he runs out screaming like, help me. And so their solution to this problem is to set him on fire with a blowtorch.
They had to give him a quick, dignified death.
Aiming for the rats, so he's like stumbling around for like 5 minutes, crashes through a plate glass window. It was brilliant, but it didn't make any goddamn sense.
Because that was Kurt that had the flamethrower. McCready, he had to have the flamethrower.
Yeah. He seemed to try to set pretty much most of his problems on fire.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's not how you solve your problems.
I would if I had a flamethrower.
Oh man, my snowman's melting. Let's light it on fire.
I really need
fast enough.
Really need to up our renter's insurance.
And the rats too, like you were saying earlier, these people in this movie are freaking out very hardcore when they see these rats. But when they're sharing the screen with a rat, the rats, they so don't give a shit about anything that's going on.
They really don't.
In other shots, like it'll do the close-up of a rat, and it'll be like a little fake rat with its teeth, kind of like it does that like 2 or 3 times. But the great shot is where the rats are chasing them.
The March of the Rats.
But it's a bunch of what looks like rubber or plastic rats on a conveyor belt. And they're all kind of, when they get to a certain point on this conveyor belt, they all kind of simultaneously like that. Like,
yeah, it's like I think
it was
they're
like a toy.
They're like coming up the stairs or something. So yeah, there's definitely this one point where they just kind of like, all of them are coming like, and then the next row of like, and they're coming in waves of like 3 and 4 at a time.
Yeah.
Open the door, damn you! Oh! Come on! Save us if you hurry! Oh, never saw anything like it. Open the door!
It was possibly the fakest looking shot I've ever seen in a movie.
But it was pretty great.
It would have looked better though if they weren't on the conveyor, just all on strings. And fuck it, we can see the strings.
Yeah.
And just yanking them all up the stairs.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, that's the most aggressive those rats ever got. Because like there's parts where people are getting doused with rats.
Oh yeah.
Watch out! Doris! Don't fall down, Doris! Get away! We must do something to help him! Too late! Get us all!
And the rats can't possibly be coming from anywhere, too, when they get doused with these rats. So there are scenes in this movie where somebody gets doused with like a bucket of rats, and there's no logical place that they could be coming from.
No,
it might be outside in the middle of the
out of the
street.
chimney.
Yeah.
And it's literally like they're just saying like and just falling from the heavens.
It's their mode of attack, and the rats, even when they're falling, they don't give a shit. When they hit the ground, they just kind of scurry away, and then the rats like eat their motorcycle wheels at one point, and the one guy's like, "Ah, you bastards!" And the rats just kind of sitting there like, just kind of scuttles off a little bit.
Well, and maybe how they're all falling on their heads is another alternate title. This thing is Mutants of the Second Humanity.
We're stuck. The rats have chewed through the tires of our bikes. Shit!
So maybe they're mutant rats. Maybe we can't like they
They
never
did say that they had like a higher degree of intelligence.
Well, yeah, what maybe we don't see is that they have like little like wings or something, and they're just dive bombing. You know,
We didn't see a lot of stuff in this movie because apparently the rats can like move people. Like the one
Yeah, they
girl,
moved that one girl
Vampirella,
into the
when she-
living room just to like freak them out.
Yeah, they moved this girl to the living room in her sleeping bag. Like, what's she doing here? You bastards! And
they really like that one.
Apparently, they propped up Chuck Norris-looking dude from Strike Commando. They like prop him up in the middle of the bar to where he's just standing in place, and then until they turn him around, and he's like got rats on him and shit.
He's full of rats, because remember the back of his
Oh,
jacket
yeah,
just like
yeah.
splits
It
open and like
explodes, yeah.
this one tiny bedraggled little rat kind of pokes his head and is like, yeah, okay.
It's a fantastic shot, though. Yeah, I mean, it's literally like it reminded me of it reminded me a lot of like the chest scene in The Thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except it was his back, but yeah, it's sort of like his back is like heaving up and down and poking and protruding and just rips in half all the way down, stem to stern. Rips open, and then like I said, there's just one tiny little, just like regular little
Really
rat
confused
just
looking rat.
pops up like whack-a-mole style. It's like, what, he did that? That one little guy, he is really strong.
Holy shit, there was that one rat who, let's face it, crawled up that woman's vagina.
He totally did, because they didn't say it, but they're like, oh my god, she's got no marks on her.
Yeah.
And, then, pook.
Yeah, just with the one girl.
She's trying to speak. Okay, she's dead.
I think Diana screams for like 10 minutes after that.
Diana screams. And,
When isn't she screaming in that?
oh, and shit, it's an Italian movie. Of course, it went up the vagina and out the mouth. If it's not a pole, it's a rat.
That one girl, man, she had to have been like sleeping with the director or something, because she was incredibly hot, and like the way she delivered her lines, like, these are such strange things that we have come across.
Are you talking about which one?
I'm talking about Vampirella.
Oh, her. Okay.
The one that seemed like she reminded me of the floozy from Pod People.
How could it happen? How could it happen? But why aren't all these plants grown outside in the open?
Yeah, it was probably the same voice.
Yeah, it seemed like the same.
Rick from Pod People's voice was in there.
Cookie Crumb?
Maybe she could have been. I don't know. She could have been sleeping with Bruno. I mean, I'd like to think that Bruno got laid off of this movie. But I mean, I don't know. Let's face it. This isn't the first time we've seen a bad performance in a Bruno Mattei film.
I was saying, because like, dude, everyone else is wearing pretty reasonable clothes for like desert trekking, and then she's in like the leather onesie and the vampire.
Well, she was with Lucifer. He was gonna keep her safe.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
He's basically Wes.
Yeah.
He even had like the face paint.
Come on, stop that. Having to listen to you two humping is pretty nasty. If you must copulate, why don't you go outside and do it?
Why don't you just shut up?
But a movie like this, whether you like it, whether you don't like it, it's a kind of movie that just depends on how entertaining you think it is, because that's the only thing it's trying to do. It's trying to be entertaining. It wants to be an entertaining, out there B movie with extreme dialogue and these crazy characters and very over the top performances.
And it is.
So in that regard, it's fantastic. It does it incredibly well.
Oh, God, no! I never saw anything. They fell in! They fell in!
And I have a pet theory about this movie too, and after watching that interview, I'm completely convinced that it's completely on accident. But just as sympathetic as the rats come off, this movie really puts across that like the people are the actual vermin in this situation, because like the rats that were there first. The people like wander in and hooping and hollering, and they find that like food cache, and that scene I think was the most interesting scene in the movie, because like
sugar.
they're literally like tearing open bags of flour and just like pouring it all over themselves, or like eating spaghetti out of this like mason jar, and just like smearing it on their faces. They really
puts cooked pasta salad in mason jars.
Well, if you're canning it.
If you're canning it for 200 years.
225 years after the bomb.
And especially considering the ending of this movie.
I was just gonna say we should talk. We might as well. The title card for this episode is completely
kind of a dead giveaway.
Okay, now go back in time 20 minutes and don't look at the title card when you click on it.
The ending of the movie is that you see these figures come up
Alright,
from under the ground.
time
and they're
for
wearing,
me
like
to
really yellow
like
radiating
hazmat
suits,
check my
and
word
they're going
count.
through, and they have some gas.
And have a 10-minute break.
Gassing a lot of the rats, and then.
Alright, so it says here that I made 838 words, which is fantastic. I think I'm gonna go for 2 more bursts, but
It's so nice to find ourselves amongst
I
friends.
will be
We are
RB.
friends, aren't we? And the thing's like, take off the mask and rat people.
That we were all brothers. The book was called the Bible, and it said that God created men and animals.
Normally I think they're like, oh, okay, these are friendly rats here to save them, but the rat is making this like intense horror. He's like bugging his eyes out as big as he possibly can.
He's bugging his eyes out like that, but I mean, like, it is a rat person, so it's gonna look freaky no matter what it looks like.
I think he's like intentionally trying to look menacing. I think that was not a happy ending.
I don't know, like, because
He seemed pretty surprised.
It could have gone like either way, really, because I mean the thing was there, getting rid of the rats. Like he didn't really come across like the rat people came out to specifically go after the humans. They probably didn't even know they were there.
Yeah.
And so they're gassing all these rats. So they don't like the rats. With the 2 humans, they asked if they were friends, and they nodded. It could have easily been one of those things like he takes off the thing and then them kind of shrieking at him made him all like self-conscious and stuff, like, don't look at me.
I forgot that the movie ends on that like still frame of chocolate, just like
she's great. I love that actor.
Chocolate was my favorite.
Greta from Bruno's Terminator 2.
yeah, fucking Megaforce, son.
Megaforce.
I liked her. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just agreeing with him.
Yeah, Megaforce, son.
Megaforce, son.
I hope you're good and ready.
Ready for what?
You made a bet with me and you lost, Chocolate. You know it.
Put it on my bill. Tonight I don't feel like it.
Oh, come on, a debt's a debt. You gambled and lost. Now you must pay.
I like liked her, and I liked the fact that the comic relief character actually made it to the end. Because that fucking never happens.
I did think real quick, which one was the comic relief? They were all
Chocolate
kind
and
of
Video
funny.
were the two that made it to the end.
Yeah.
And I think that they sort of had something going on, you know? Cause
She lost a bet with him at one point, and he was going to sleep with her, but she didn't feel like it.
Yeah, but she seemed entertained by the notion. So
Yeah.
I think there's something going on.
Chocolate. That's great.
But yeah, you raise a good point. Yeah, the one black character and like the one like doofy comic relief guy, they should have been the first ones out.
But they were to survive.
Yeah, Kurt. Yeah.
All right.
By a door falling on him right before.
Well, I feel a lot better than
Went on like a chump. It wasn't even like a heavy door.
I usually do.
It's like a door.
I'm gonna take advantage of that. Well, that was fun. Time for me to start playing this.
Knew that.
I don't know whether I actually played this during a thing, but oh well. I'm going to play it. It's going to be an internety review. This is the upcoming video is The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Dingo Pictures by Phalis. It was actually pretty funny. I love how like dry not dry his humor is. Which is the best way I can describe his delivery is dry not dry. Like a fine Canadian rye. Anyway, one more shut up and write burst like oh shit. Shut up and write burst like I've been doing. And I should be able to be fantastic. And let's see, 2,500 words and 16 chapters. At this rate, this novel's going to be like 30-something chapters, but that is fine. It has as many chapters as it needs. So for now, I think I'm just gonna check my Tumblr. Hopefully it doesn't get too dumb. Blur. Actually, no, I have the luck to check the archives of. Well, wait, let's see. So how should we word this? So I'm not the only child. Freshy? What's freshy? It's not okay. He's pisshead. Oh well. That's not what I wanted. What are you doing? Oh well, I got 3 minutes till I'm back on my shit. Alright, so like I've been having an idea for about at least a year now called Watch for the Meme, where I do reviews of things specifically that are famous for like one memorable line or scene or something, and I'm like, okay, so maybe the oeuvre of Simple Flips might get the review treatment, because I can think of only two things it's famous for. The expression shoutouts to Simple Flips and the term gay baby jail. So, look, I'm being profane in British. But who speaks British anymore? Pretty bloody. So, because absolutely no one is watching my stream, apparently. I guess I should just poop-de-stoop. Or whatever. Anyway, one more minute. Look, you see, I'm not an only child. I am the younger twin. My brother, his name is Nathaniel. Even though we were twins, Nathan and I didn't get Nathaniel. Nate and Doug. Like, why am I worrying? It's like, maybe Doug is too white. And I'm thinking, no. Doug cannot be too white. It's kind of impossible because your viewers are like, they're all whiny white dudes. Oh, it's time.
You can always count on Dingo Pictures to try and make even the worst adaptation look good in comparison to theirs. Ugh. Dingo should have just stuck with their stupid animal-based movies because those were creepy enough. But get ready for Dingo's idea of what humans look like.
I have an older twin brother named Nathaniel.
This movie also had a PlayStation release with
Nate and I,
crap slider puzzle and flood fill coloring, which is almost a given at this point, but there were a few Dingo movies that didn't get this treatment.
It came to pass many hundreds of years ago that the story of Quasimodo and the lovely Esmeralda unfolded here in Paris.
Every time I think
we didn't get along very
for
well.
Dingo's non-quality shit, they lower the bar.
Even in those days, Paris was a great city.
It was the greatest children's marker drawing and earned its spot on the fridge. Actually, even that is too high a praise for this trash. If a kid drew this, they'd get a note saying, "We can't waste valuable fridge space on this, try harder." It's also rather jarring in this one when it cuts from their watercolor/marker backdrops to their flat-colored ones. Just so you can have a taste of both sides of the horrid backdrop coin, I suppose. I'm done. I forgot. I hate myself far too much to allow me to get away that easily. We're just a minute into this, but we've already discovered Dingo's magic with their human characters, and that's zooming their heads in and out. With animals, they move their heads up and down, but humans don't do that. They do this.
Holy Mary!
Anyway, I'll just calmly cut off my screen.
I am sure that it's a sin to look upon this child.
Well, this nun just learned the most important part of being a phony Christian, and that's being a judgmental asshole. And really, Nunster, you're one to talk. Actually, anyone in this movie is one to talk. You're all ugly, creepy fox.
This, my dear sister, is no child, but a misshapen ape.
I'm Cece, a woman. Listen to me. Wait, are we joined together? What the damn hell are we?
It can't be Christian.
Probably not. I don't think a lot of babies have particularly strong feelings on religion.
It should be thrown into the fire.
It belongs in a great big fire.
And speaking of fire, you two are fucking fired and banned from ever looking at children again. This baby can't be Christian because it's ugly, so let's do the Christian thing and start a baby fire.
I think I'll adopt it and take it with me.
Pedophile priest joke. Oops, sorry.
It'll be interesting to see whether I can teach him to speak and think, whether he can learn to love and hate.
I assume it can. You don't know if there's anything really wrong with it besides it apparently being uglier than the rest of you, which in my view is highly debatable.
I've always said that Claude Frollo is a warlock and a spellmeister.
Truly, there's nothing more warlocky than wanting to adopt a baby. But wow, Frollo is actually the Archdeacon of Notre Dame? This is the first adaptation I've seen that actually kept him in this position like the book, and it's the fucking Dingo Pictures one?
He used this little monster to assist him in his experiments.
His experiments of what? Being an Frollo is actually the Archdeacon of Notre Dame? This is the first adaptation I've seen that actually kept him in this position like the book, and it's the fucking Dingo Pictures one?
He used this little monster to assist him in his experiments.
His experiments of what? Being an evil church dude?
I'll call him Quasimodo.
It's Latin and means only more or less.
You two gonna make out, or you just really don't believe in personal space? Oh, yes, thank you, Dingo. I didn't think the awkward walking in silence was going on long enough.
A few years later, Claude Frollo became Abbé of Notre Dame.
Okay, Frollo has risen all the way to Abbé, which is the title for a lower-ranking Catholic clergyman.
Frollo's baby adoption experiments have taken him all the way to the bottom.
Though based on Dushimoto's appearance, by a few years they apparently meant at least 17 or so. It seems this evil raising of a baby really agreed with Frollo. Then again, the asswipe joined at the hips nuns are doing pretty well too.
Probably from breathing in all the fumes from their baby fires.
The citizens of Paris couldn't stand Quasimodo.
Ah, so it wasn't like they had a fear of him or anything, it was just annoyance. Oh, look at that Quasimodo! What a douche! I never knew Colonel Sanders used to be a pimp in medieval France.
He should lock Quasimodo up in a tower. I don't dare put my foot outside the door at night.
Wait, what the shit is this? You're the exact same person as Babyfire Nun #1. You just put on a different outfit to agree with yourself, didn't you?
She truly was a trailblazer for people who like and agree with their own comments on YouTube.
Skip, skip, skip to Maloo, skip, skip, skip to Maloo. I don't have a proper walk cycle. Watch out, Quasi. That rope isn't attached to anything. Oh no, now you're cutting your own head off.
Well, that wraps that up. Ah, shit.
This one, for whatever reason, has a large amount of garbage area visible, so you'll often see characters getting cut off or backgrounds from different shots underneath the scene.
Dingo Pictures, always lowering the bar.
The bells became his best friend.
I gotta apologize to the Seeker of the Hunchback again. At least the rocks he was friends with in that one looked like some type of creature and pointlessly sang medieval jazz sometimes. Instead of best bell friend loser over here.
You are my favorite, Marie.
Does this bell need an adult? Or a restraining order?
Quasimodo may be a monster, but no one can ring the bells as beautifully as him.
And a lesson was truly learned.
Is it true he's gone deaf from the noise?
Yes, that's true.
Oh, we're back to the classic up and down bouncing heads. Guess zooming is just for crying. And fuck you, Pimp Sanders. You think it's funny he went deaf just because he got way too up and personal with the bells? Yeah, maybe that's kind of funny.
It was Marie, the deep bass bell, that had ruptured Quasimodo's eardrum.
Stop enabling his bell fetish, narrator!
But, as Quasimodo didn't talk to anyone anyway, it wasn't too bad.
I kinda screwed that up, but it's good enough. Just like Quasimodo going deaf. That ain't the narrator's problem.
He could still feel the vibration of the bells, and that was enough to keep him happy.
Gross.
Quasimodo was about 20.
Oh, he's about 20 now. They probably aged their appearances at the... Oh, of course they
Nor
did.
did I
They
have the
still all
budget.
look the same. And this is a wondrous festival where assholes throw knives at ducks. Though if it's the damn sexy duck narrator from Dinosaur Adventure, it's justified. Then we meet Esmeralda in drag. Oh, wait, that's Pierre. My bad. He looks nothing like Esmeralda. Just wow, guys.
CDC Zobaris, come ye all here, come ye all here. Vote for the Pope of Fuse.
Is this even English anymore? Why the hell is there a medieval beatnik?
This is what I've been waiting for. Do you remember last year? Remember?
Yeah, last year, when we also stood around laughing at jokes that weren't explained.
Art is understood by no one here.
What's the matter with me?
Beatnik Idiot says something else that I can't understand even slightly, but apparently they are crowning the main fool of Fool's Day by having them stick their heads through a hole. Frank and Ernie's monster here doesn't win, but a donkey in the audience does think he's hilarious. But of course, Evil Experiment Baby wins.
That's Quasimodo.
I couldn't recognize him without seeing his body. Quasimodo's hot body.
He's the best Pope of Fools we've
my
ever
note and
had.
missing a
And
button.
deaf too.
What the hell does that have to do with anything, Colonel Pimpers? Stop bringing it up, you jackass.
Let's show it to the people of Paris. Off to Place Grève.
Just the shit is this perspective? Is Pierre about to lean up against the vertical street behind him? Ooh, nice dance, Esmeralda. It's like they saw that damn one they couldn't stop showing in the Golden Films version and said, oh yeah, we can do that with even less frames. In fact, we'll just do a horizontal flip. Amazing.
I dedicate my next poem to her. Who is she?
Blood Pierre is just as superficial as ever, though this time I at least know what he sees in her. Himself.
Don't you know her? She's Esmeralda. She came with the gypsies, you know.
I might be slightly
I was terrified. He was presumed dead when I left for film school. And
this dance makes Frollo mad.
Presumed dead when I left for film school.
People are now paying more attention to Esmeralda's body instead of the body he put all those years of experiments into.
May I introduce Jolly, the smartest goat in the world?
It really is smart. I've never seen an animal randomly laugh in a dingo picture before.
Jolly, how late is it?
Wow, that goat is right. It really is. O'clock.
This is witchcraft.
And there's only room for warlock baby adopters in this city.
She's not only lovelier than the Bible allows.
There's a hotness limitation in the Bible?
So
I'll forbid her to perform. Yes.
Unless she gives me diamonds.
If you enjoyed the performance, people of Paris, show your generosity with a few sous in my basket.
What exactly is my accent? Am I French or Italian? Who knows?
Rich. And you've bewitched the goat too. No Norman animal behaves that way.
I mean, it was over there making goat noises, completely unlike a goat. And I haven't seen an animal laugh like that since the donkey in the crowd over there.
Esmeralda has sandals that like to go MIA depending on what position she's standing in. But hey, at least she gets footwear sometimes. Old Esmer Melody had to even do her stupid wedding barefoot.
Damn you, you gypsy daughter!
Don't be afraid of the crazy old lady. Many years ago, her child was stolen by a gypsy.
I'm Pierre. I know the backstory of random old women who yell out their windows.
Quasimodo comes by to perv on Esmeralda too, but it's far less flattering to her because it's not like looking into a mirror with him.
He can't hear you. He's deaf.
Also, Pierre, of course, knows everything about Quasimodo as well.
Quasimodo! You is the Pope of Fools.
You is the Pope of Fools.
So he can help not pondering what he's up to.
Yep.
He's still kicking.
That about sums things up.
Beware, Esmeralda. We live in a bad time.
We live in a bad time. Something we all should keep in mind. Pierre knows things used to be better back in the good old days. This is Oro, Dr. Scientist Dinosaur. Pierre, perhaps you are here for my new theory on science! Actually, I wasn't.
You stay. So good to talk to you.
No, Sir Poet. It's late already. Maybe some other time.
I think Esmeralda likes me.
Yeah, the way she ran off to avoid having to continue talking to you must mean she likes you.
What the garbage is this shit? How do you guys continue to manage to make this crap look even worse?
I'll never find her in this maze of alleys.
She walked straight, I walked straight. What a maze.
I'm sure that she has a nice hot soup.
That noise is old cell phone interference with recording equipment. That would happen sometimes when people would get a call near my old 8mm camera. So of course that's in this movie. Only time for one take.
Just one shoe, sir. Or perhaps two. Leave me alone. I've got nothing myself.
Sir, a piece of bread. Give me a loaf of bread.
Your voice sounds somewhat familiar, you dirty bum. You must must be dead Wushang.
Give me a soul. Give me a piece of bread.
I'll be damned. A one-legged man chasing me on two legs?
I'll be damned if I know what's going on anymore.
The Wah Bum chases Pierre over to the bad side of town, where I think they might be filming Dingo's Aladdin, and two mustache men are about ready to get it on. Also, we learned that tree houses were very popular in medieval France, as this isn't even the only one shown.
I'll be damned. An honorable citizen in the Court of Miracles.
The Court of Miracles actually was what the slums of Paris were referred to back when, but I highly doubt they recruited doofuses to be thieves just because they happened to wander in.
There's only one solution for you. Join the gypsies and beggars, and you'll be saved.
I'll do anything to save my skin.
You must prove that you are worthy of belonging to us. Bring the bellman. He has a purse in his pocket. If you can get it without one bell ringing, you belong to us. If not, then the gallows.
Well, their recruiting process seems reasonable enough.
Ha ha ha, they're going to kill me. If only Pierre had had Raphael around to do this for him. Oh well, I'm glad he didn't. Fuck Pierre.
Hang him. To the gallows with him.
What lovely people. They love killing.
Destiny, take your course.
You want to hang him? Yes, unless you take him to be your man.
Ah, the loophole in the court of bullshit. Hang his ass.
What do you think?
Okay, pass. My goat thinks he's too funny.
He's your man for 4 years.
Harsh sentence by the Court of Miracles. So what happens after 4 years? Does he explode?
You haven't by any chance fallen a tiny little bit in love with me, have you?
No, Pierre. I don't even know you.
Why is it Esmeralda is more level-headed in the Dingo version versus her instantly being in love with Pierre in Secret of the Hunchback or Quasimodo in The Handsome of Notre Dame?
I don't know where my parents are.
You seem to be full of secrets. I could support our income by reciting new verses like, "That was Esmeralda and her goat. Put coins in the hat or I'll go for your throat."
Don't be angry, Marie. I just want to watch Esmeralda dance.
He is seriously asking Abel not to be jealous of his new crush. Oh dear, Secret of the Hunchback. Fuck.
Everyone gets scared when Quasimodo suddenly flips and zooms in despite the background not changing. At least I assume that's why they all freak out, because they're all fine with partying it up with him when he is the Pope of Fools.
I was a witness myself. I sentenced him to 20 lashes and an hour in the stocks.
Man, Count Paul Schaefer is a dick. Though still, I suppose this is more fair than don't ring a bell or we'll kill you, unless a woman wants you as a pet for 4 years.
Medieval France sure is a strange law system.
Ooh, I'm a pirate. Why am I here?
Take him out immediately now.
Haha, horrible things happening are always a laugh around here. Unless these people all die, this movie isn't gonna have a satisfying ending.
Spoiler, prepare to be disappointed.
Well, I can also say about this Dingo version is they don't shy away from showing Quasimodo getting his lashes. Some good old red line blood action here. And it's really nice to see an executioner who loves his job, unlike old Depresso in the Golden Films one. Though this guy might just be really happy because he forgot to wear his pants to fucking work again and got away with it. Luckily, some water fixes everything. And I mean everything, even Quasimodo's shirt recovers. But old Biddy in the window isn't impressed. If only Esmeralda could avoid her by not walking in front of her window. Oh, nice of the Eiffel Tower to finally cameo in one of these Hunchback of Notre Dame stories, even though it wouldn't be built for about another 400 years.
Jolly and Pierre had become good friends in the meantime.
Seen here, the attempted ramming of a good friend.
Your Honor.
Thanks for the literal dickhead, Dingo. That's disgusting.
She's very beautiful.
You see, she's bewitched you too, Your Honor. I'm here to accuse her of witchcraft.
I'm also here to catch up on my lines. You know, despite these silly line reads like this really is one of the better English dubs for a Dingo movie as far as syncing is concerned.
This must have been an earlier movie before Dingo got really big-headed and realized that everyone would watch their crap no matter how lazily it was shit together.
Yes, I know we haven't had a witchcraft trial in ages.
But I know my voice is ridiculous, so let's do it.
She's a pretty good tap dancer for someone not wearing shoes.
I arrest you and your goat.
No, you'll never make the charges stick on that goat.
Not only do they want to turn Esmeralda into a witch, they want to turn my Jolly into a devil. Of course you didn't understand anything.
He didn't understand. That's why he gasped. Making things logically flow is hard.
We call a nun, Sister Joanna, into the witness stand.
Your Honor.
Damning testimony if I've ever heard any.
Not only that, she had a goat and let it do things that no Christian animal can.
Oh, yes, Christian animal. That makes sense.
Yes, that's what she did.
What about?
She awkwardly cut dialogue off. Why, that is just not done. Isn't that right? It is not done.
Bring in the second accused.
They played the wah-wah, so we knew that calling in a goat to testify was silly. Not quite as silly as passing out due to overwhelming pain, but it's up there.
Let us begin the cross-questioning of the goat.
This is too stupid even for me.
Of course you don't even understand that they're trying to get testimony from a goat.
What time is it?
Okay, I feel
That's
stupidly tired.
It's 3 o'clock.
I think I should just
He's a warlock. He communicates
stop
with animals.
right now. Just like not push myself